Okay, so now let's do this by graphing. So I'm going to go ahead and solve both of my equations so that they are, well, I'm going to solve them both for y. Y equals mx plus b form is what I'm going for. For this one, I need to add, let's do that in blue. I need to add 2x to both sides. And I have then those cancel. I have y equals 2x minus 2. And that's the form I want for that one. I'm going to go ahead and solve my red one for y. I need that x gone from that side, so I'm going to subtract 2x again. 2x minus 2x cancels. I'm left with 4y equals negative 2x plus 12. I have a 4 on my left-hand side. I want to get rid of that, so that's 4 times y. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide everything by 4. Remember, adding and subtracting, you just do it once to the side. Multiplication and division, you do it to everything. And if you ever want to kind of have a better idea why we do that, I can show you, but we should schedule an appointment to kind of go over it. It just takes a little bit of explaining and showing. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1, so that gives me y. Negative 2 divided by 4, we could just write negative 2 over 4, or that reduces, because both are divisible by 2, to 1/2. So negative 1/2, I keep my x. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so let's graph these. The blue one, I'm going to do a little table, just because I know sometimes it's easier for people to visualize with the table sometimes, and other times you just rather use the equation, and that's fine. So I'm going to do the blue one with the table. The red one I'll do with just using our equation. So I'm going to pick some x's, and from those x's I'm going to get some y's, and then I'm going to get an ordered pair. Let's pick, it doesn't really matter, let's pick negative 1, 0, and 1. If I plug in a negative 1, then I get 2 times negative 1 minus 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 2 would be negative 4. So my ordered pair is negative 1, negative 4. If you're ever doing this table and when you start to draw the graph, your points, if you have 3 of them, if your points don't all line up, then you probably did something wrong when you plugged it in. Just a way to look and double check your answer. 2 times 0, using my second x, 2 times 0 minus 2. 2 times 0 is 0, so that goes away, so we're just left with a minus 2. So that's 0 minus 2. You should also see a pattern on the left hand, or in here. If you use numbers that are right next to each other in the x, you should see a pattern in the y. The last one, 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So if you notice, our y goes up 2 every time. So if we were to do 2 for x, we should get 2 for y. Okay, so 1, 0. And I'm going to put those points in. So remember, you start at your origin, you go to the x-coordinate, which for the first one, we're looking at this one. X-coordinate is negative 1. And then I go from there down to negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's my first point. That's negative 1. That's negative 4. My second point, 0, negative 2. So right on the origin, I don't go left or right because x is 0. And I do go down to 1, 2. So right there is negative 2. We're on the axis, so x is 0. And the last one, x equals 1. So I start at the origin. I go to the right one because that's where x is on the positive. And I don't go up or down because y is 0. So I stay right on the axis. And there's my 3 points for my blue line. Again, you really only need 2 points. 3 points kind of helps you just make sure that you have the right answer, that you're looking at it correctly. And I'll try and draw my line nicely. Okay. So that should be good enough. I think it's off a little bit, but it should be fine. And then the other one, negative or red line. So our red line, we're going to use our slope-intercept form information. We're going to start at our y-intercept. That's positive 3. So I'm going to go up to 3 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, right here. That's my y-intercept. That's where I'm going to start. And then my slope is negative 1/2. So there is my rise. And there is my run. So if my rise is negative 1, that means I'm going down 1. So I start at my y-intercept, go down 1. My run is 2, so I'm going to go over 2. So I have a point right there. And then I'm going to go down 1 and over 2 again. And so my graph should look about like this. That's at 2. That's at 4. And there would be a 3 right here. Okay, so let's graph that. And that gives us this line. Should draw right through all of my work. And so we notice that right here is where the graph crosses. And if we trace this down, we are at x equals 2. And if we trace this across, we are at y equals 2. So our solution to this is to